What's up, everybody? This is Doc Joe Brown, real name, no gimmicks, and this is Pro Wrestling Talk for the Pistons fan. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @ProPistons. That's PROPISTONS. Please remember our Pro Wrestling Tees store, www.prowrestlingtees.com/PWTPF, the acronyms for the show. If you're going to prowrestlingtees.com to get your AEW stuff, just add one to the bag. Just add one to the bag for us. Just throw it in the bag. Today, I was at the gym working out, and I was like, I texted my homeboy G, and I said, man, we need new K-Dot music. I don't even know what music. I just texted him. I said, we need new K-Dot music. He didn't even reply. Then later today, I'm looking at trending topics. It's like Kendrick Lamar is dropping his new stuff on May. May. He's dropping it in May. So I sent him the photo. He's like, wow. Did you? I didn't know. I didn't have any inside info. I just felt like we needed new K-Dot music. NEGUS. Basketball, that soundtrack is critical. You gotta have the right music to get you amped for the game. And for the most part, shout out to the DJs at Little Caesars Arena. They keep it popping. I know they have DJ Mo Beats. Shout out DJ Mo Beats. DJ Mo Beats follows us on Twitter. DJ Mo Beats drops in sometime, but the main one is Shashi. DJ Shashi is CHACHI. Chachi. Big Sean is the creative director, so it's all over. The music and basketball intertwines. It intertwines. And I really love that this year they took a step forward. They really infused rap, and that's what I like, rap. Just good rap music. When it's time for swag cam, I'm up at the drink rail, I'm swagging and I'm surfing. In this off season, that's my goal. I gotta go up to Greenfield Plaza and I gotta get something for the swag cam. I'm walking in there. What floor is that? 4th floor of Greenfield Plaza, right across from Old Northland. What do you need? I need something for the swag cam. Do I do this every time? I don't even know why I'm out there. I don't even know. This Friday, what inspired this episode? This Friday, it's almost dry. Pause. That's right. The new King Push drop. Friday, April 22nd. That's free promo. He owe me. And I heard Smokey, we got the Pro Wrestling Talk for Piston fans. We got the group chat going. It was some real Pusha T hate going on in there, and I ain't even reply. Just let the haters hate. Pusha T's the man. I paused that if I didn't pause. I was like, yo, have we ever paid homage to one of the GOATs? To one of the GOATs? Don't hate John Cena? John Cena's one of the GOATs. The doctor of thugonomics. Word life.
What's up, jabronis? It's your boy Lawson Robinson at Smokey Robinson 8 on Twitter with 2 E's, and you're listening to the one and only Pro Wrestling Talk for Pistons fans.
I gotta be quiet. I gotta tone it down. My wife said I might be waking the baby. I'm in the basement, but it still might be going up through the vents. I gotta be quiet. Sorry, word life. I just got amped thinking about old school John Cena wearing the throwback jerseys and rapping and all that stuff. So here are my top 4 John Cena bars. My top 4. And the reason why I reserved it to 4 is because I just want to give a quick little plug to the Acclaim. The Acclaim over in AEW. They spitting too. So I'm going to give number 5 to the Acclaim. And then the next 4 will be my top 4 John Cena bars. I got to be quiet. I got to stop yelling. I'm sorry. But see, that's the passion coming through. That's just the passion. Number 5, the Acclaim. They got new bars every episode of AEW Dynamite, Dark Elevation, whatever they own, they always got fresh new bars. You gotta respect it. My favorite one is, y'all are less popular than Glenn Jacob tweets. Woo! Bars. Glenn Jacobs came. Okay, let me stop. Here we go. John Cena. When God was handing you brains, you didn't get none. I usually throw up 2 fingers, but you're special. You only get 1. No, he didn't. This is number 3. The ref was my downfall. He was missing calls like Bill Buckner was missing ground balls. Stop it. How did I not have this number? Okay. It's my year. I suggest you take the year off. I'm sick. Like when Mike Tyson bit Holyfield's ear off. All right. This is number 1. After number 1 is going to be a drop. And then we got an interview with D-Dot Major Music. So stick around and enjoy that. Thank you for supporting the show. It's always just a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. But here we go. If you're an animal, I'm going on a safari. I'm rocking PlayStation 2. You couldn't figure out Atari. Your finish is the F5. Well, mine is the F. Bars.
Hey, this is David B., Detroit to St. Louis, at DLamar901, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Talk for the Pistons fan.
Hold on, let me. Yo, what's up?
Man,
This is Doc Joe Brown, real name, no gimmicks. As always, we have an interview. I try to do one at the end of every episode now that we had our hiatus. And this week, we got D. Major Music, over 20,000 Twitter followers. He does Beattober. He's not selfish with the beats either. A lot of times you meet these producers and I don't want to put my stuff out there. He put his stuff out there. D. Major Music. What's up, man? Like, give me
man,
your socials, everything. Oh, wait, and I forgot to mention by way of Texas.
yes, sir, yes, sir. You can find me on Instagram at D._Major Music, as well as Twitter D.MME. And yeah, man, appreciate the love. Appreciate you, Joe, for having me on, man. So I like everything you do, man, and it's been a long time in the making, so it's finally good to catch up.
I told my wife, like, right before this, I was like, man, like, today didn't go like I expected. We took my daughter to school, and the school was closed. They like, yo, we on spring break. I was like, what? I have a whole day. That's like the worst. And I was like, I got an interview with D. And she was like, who is D. And I was like, that's the perfect way to start off this interview. Tell the people who you are.
Yeah, man. So I'm originally from Lafayette, Louisiana. Moved to
I hear the twang.
Texas.
I hear the twang.
Hear the twang. Moved to Texas in '04. So I kind of consider myself 50-50 now. But I've been doing beats pretty much since like '06. Music has kind of been a part of my life pretty much since I was a kid. I used to play the trumpet, used to play the French horn, and it was kind of really in high school where I decided I wanted to start getting into this music thing. And, that was still late 90s. I got out of school actually in 2000. And that's when music production became a little more accessible on computers and, things along those lines. That's when I kind of really started making beats, and also artists, of course, new album coming out later on this week. But aside from that, sprinkled in not only music, but as we talked about online, you see a lot of the Pistons stuff I post, of course, and then of course the Raiders stuff, and then we talk a little wrestling as well. Just I kind of grew up really around wrestling. I mean, I remember my pops in the 80s watching on TV like old NWA days and things like that. But it just always kind of been a part of me as well. And in fact, this past week I went to AEW Rampage, so that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool to get out there for the first time. And mainly all those things, man. Just avid sports fan. I try to see the Pistons every time they're in town. I went this year, but unfortunately Cade was injured. So
That's how it worked, man.
Yeah, but I want to actually pull up on you guys next year. I want to come out there and come to a game and see what's good, man. So I'm gonna be in touch with you about that, man.
Anytime, man. Proud season ticket holder. And then next season we actually got a set of season tickets just for the show. So I'm gonna be giving out a pair of tickets every game. But anytime when D hit the streets, we're gonna have to upgrade, man. We're gonna have to be on the swag cam and everything. Let me ask you this: growing up in Louisiana, because this is my first time knowing this. Like, of course, you had to be an LSU Tigers fan.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I love LSU, bro.
But this is like New Orleans Pelicans or anything like that. So you could attach yourself to any squad you wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Most people in Louisiana, which probably could figure are Laker fans. You might have a little bit of Rockets fans mixed in there, but everybody just, if you probably, I would say about 35, maybe a little older, you probably don't have allegiance mainly to the Pelicans.
Right. So was it Raiders first or Pistons first?
It was Raiders first. Yeah,
Raiders
it was
first,
Raiders
yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a couple old school cats in Detroit. Like Detroit is weird. Everybody, down for the city no matter what. But with football, it's like everybody, you're allowed to have a secondary team, right? Like because the Lions, like nobody hates on you if you have a secondary team, but it's like rules. Like long as there's nobody from Ohio, we good. So you see a lot of ironically, and then our homeboy Charles Woodson went to, play for the Raiders.
Michigan, yeah.
He hit real hard in when he went there. So you see a lot of Raiders fans, and you also see a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans because of Jerome Bettis. So that's not uncommon that we do people have your mix. It's like, oh, Raiders or Steelers or something like that. If the Lions ever get good, it's Lions over everything. But
Yeah.
it's like you're allowed. It's like, hey, man, the team is so bad, you're allowed to have a second team, man. So it was Raiders, and then now I'm going back in the Twitter feed when Isaiah got the help from the I'm from the Raiders trainers against the Lakers. Was that when your allegiance happened?
I would say it was kind of in the mid 90s.
Okay.
Like I kind of grew up, man, and yeah, that what you're talking about, to be real, is like my first kind of memories of basketball together.
Okay.
Like,
All right. All right.
I was like, because when I do remember late 80s, like that's when the Pistons kind of won their back-to-backs and they were on a come up. I remember that part.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the game. I would probably say till a little bit,
I
in
still
the
don't
early
understand the
90s.
game.
Yeah. And I like a lot of players, mainly growing up. And then, just one day, one of my favorite college players and college teams I follow it, as far as like basketball, is Kentucky, and
All
they
right.
drafted Tayshaun Prince, and
Yeah.
that's when I kind of like started rooting for the Pistons when they drafted him, and then I just stuck with it, man. 20 plus years. So
Yeah, man. And Tayshaun is our guy in the city where like that first year he didn't start. And then remember they unleashed him in the playoffs. I don't know if that was the
yeah,
game plan or
yeah.
something like, yo, we gonna keep him stashed so he ain't on nobody. So he ain't on nobody like, scouting report or anything. But to be honest, in the city, man, people were clamoring like put Michael Curry on the bench. You know what I mean? People were angry, like what's going on? And so when they unleashed him in the playoffs, and he just went bananas, man, like bonkers in that playoff. So he actually gets a lot of love. Of course, he's a forever fan favorite here in Detroit. I think he's actually a scout with Memphis now. Ironically,
I
do
think
you know
so.
where he's at now? Yeah, that's
I think, yeah, he was up. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he got it, but I know he was trying to be a GM at one point.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Straight out of Compton, man. We love Tayshaun, man. Me being tall and light skinned, I had all the chicks that summer. Tayshaun was high because everybody be like, "You remind me of Tayshaun." Everywhere I went, I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." Yeah. So how did the wrestling start, man? So we got our Pistons. 80s, 90s. Your boy Tayshaun put you on, and you just stuck with him. How did the wrestling start?
Man, kind of along the same lines. Like, yeah, I was a very young kid, and I can remember like my pops used to watch a lot of this, NWA, AWA. I
Yeah,
remember when like wrestling came on ESPN, like in the
yeah,
80s.
yeah.
And like it was just something that I stuck with, and starting to kind of like get into like my high school years. That was the Attitude Era,
Yup.
and I started to really get like my first job around that time. So I remember me and some of the homies back home, we used to, buy our tickets to Raw, go before school start, buy our tickets, and then go to school. And like we went to a couple of Raws down there. If you remember WCW Thunder back in
Yeah.
the
Oh,
day,
hell yeah. Thursday
I've been
nights.
to
That's
one
the
of them.
original
Yeah,
Thursday night. Yeah,
I've
on
been to one of them.
TBS.
Yep,
That's why
yep,
you hear these AEW people talking. I'm like, dude, look, Thunder used to come on TBS. Clash of the Champions used to come on
yep.
TBS,
Clash of
which
the
was like a free
Champions.
pay-per-view.
It was, man. And there was just a lot of these memorable moments like Dusty and Ric Flair in the 80s. And
Yeah.
then, in the 90s, that was again the NWO, and then the Attitude Era. And then, I won't lie though, when I first moved to Dallas around '04, I kind of fell out of it for a little bit. And it wasn't really until like I had some nephews and they got into it and it got me back into it. So
Okay.
it's been probably like 10 years since I kind of been back into it.
But man, I got some questions for you. We're gonna like they're two-sided, all right? So I'm gonna say, who's your favorite wrestler right now?
Uh I would say I got two right now.
That's cool.
One of them actually Cody Rhodes,
Yes.
and then the other is I'm a big Sammy Guevara guy.
Ah, man.
Like,
He's not the internet's darling right now.
yeah, I know. And I hope they do turn him, turn him, become the snobbish heel, and let's run with it.
Yeah, man. What I thought was cool was he wrestled the first AEW match on AEW Dynamite. That was really cool. Him versus Cody, ironically.
Yeah.
But who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Ric Flair.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
Everybody says that.
Man,
That's crazy. So I wasn't really into Rick when I was a child. Like I knew he was like, okay, he's legendary WCW. I was more of a Sting guy. Like I was a huge Sting guy. And but then it kind of switched once I got to college and they started coming out with those DVD sets. And I was like, yo, this dude was the man. This dude was killing it. And I guess I couldn't digest it at my young mind. And then I have some music questions for you, right, man? You might laugh. Did John Cena have bars?
I thought he was all right. I thought he was all right. What was it? I saw some stuff. He was spitting with Murs down in South Central, and I didn't know they did a video out there, man. So I went to check it out, man. And yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right. What about the Acclaim? You like they bars?
Yeah.
Let me say this. When I went to the AEW show, that was the part I was looking to the most. Like, I can't wait for the Acclaim to come out. Like, I was just like, I want to see what they say. But you like them too?
Yeah, man. Caster with his bars, man. And what's his homie name?
Anthony Bowens, man.
Anthony Bowens, yeah, Bowens.
Hey, my last question that I have for you, but we can always kick it and talk about anything that you want. Whose music would you want to redo, man? You're a beat maker. I know you didn't sat there and been like, man, such and such just need a little bit of this, little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? Whose intro music would you want to redo?
Man.
Or would you even get into that, D Dot? If
I thought about it. I think about it. I know guys that wrestle independently, and one of the guys I actually went to school with, his name is T Ray. He wrestles here in Texas. He's indie wrestling. You may see him on AEW Dark at some point, but I thought about getting into creating wrestlers' themes, but I don't know. Like, I guess a good start point would probably be like, I like Keith Lee's music now.
Yeah.
He crossed. I liked it NXT. I didn't like what they had in when he went to the main roster.
Yeah.
If I would have had a chance to do something differently, then I probably would have. Yeah,
you know what? Shout out to Mikey Ruckus. He's the AEW music producer. Yeah. I love what he does. I love what Mike does. I like what he did with Daniel Bryan stuff.
Yeah, that was dope.
I love what he did with Daniel Bryan stuff, man. I really did. Yo, so how was the AEW show?
Man, it was pretty dope. So that night must
3 hours.
We had 4 hours.
4. Ooh.
Yeah. So we got there at 6. They filmed the hour of they were filming AEW Dark when we got there.
Oh man, that's happy hour for me. I ain't even go in when they was doing it. I was like, yo, go get me some shots.
The first round I didn't stay, but the second round they had the Hardys on there.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I've never seen Matt and Jeff before.
All right.
I stayed for it. That was kind of one of my I guess bucket list
things
in the wrestling world. But then we did the Rampage show, and Hangman and Adam Cole, man, that was like
Tore
to
the house
see.
down.
Yeah, yeah, and to see it, like, because we had some pretty decent seats for where we were, and I mean, you could literally see like Cole just blood coming down his face and taking them shots, and that was pretty dope there. And then Sammy and Scorpio Sky, they had a nice banger too.
All right.
Um, Only thing I thought I wish I could have seen, and I know it's the angle that they in, but I would have liked to seen either Daniel Bryan or Moxley do a singles match, but come to find out the night after Moxley did that match with Osprey in New Japan, and that was a pretty
Okay.
brutal match, so I get it.
Yeah. You didn't make it out to WrestleMania?
Nah, man. I had actually took some time off from my job like prior to WrestleMania. So, I wanted to do it, man. I was like, damn it, I can't. So I forget.
Hey, that you funny, man. Yo, I wanted to ask you this too. I can chop this up into editing, but who do you listen to musically?
uh I
I don't
listened
know how I
to
skipped. I'm just looking. I had an answer for every question. I'm like, oh, I didn't
yeah,
ask him that.
yeah, right now I'm listening to a lot of like Currency, Larry June,
Ah,
Les, shoot. I just heard Kendrick got a new one coming. I listen to
yup.
Kendrick a lot. Um,
You
and
listen
then
to King Push?
yeah, I listen to a little bit of
Yeah, he
King
got
Push.
almost dry dropping on Friday.
Okay. All right. And then I mean I like to kick it old school too. My Pog, my Ice Cube, uh, my
Nah,
old No
man,
Limit. Yeah.
that stuff timeless.
Shout out to the Detroit Piero Giovanni. You know,
Okay,
yeah, man. Who else? Boldy James. I listen to Boldy too.
all right,
Yeah, so yeah, man. And then of course M, been listening to M for years, so I
yeah.
still rock with him.
Let me ask you this, not to mark out. Who's the most notable person you've worked with?
Lil Flip.
What? Game
Yeah,
over. Flip,
yeah,
flip.
yeah. Um, so a song, and it probably, I don't know, maybe the homie will put it out there at some point, but this was like probably about 10 years ago. He came to the studio out here, and me and another friend of mine, we co-produced a beat called Game Time, and it was Lil Flip and a couple of our other partners, Boom, and they did the song, but they never really like put it on the album. It was a collaborative song. There was some other things kind of behind the scenes, but that was kind of the big thing that I did.
Did you get a little rush? Did you like, dang, this little flip right here who started the beef with T.I.? Like this.
Yeah, man. It was like it was kind of cool to come in because I could remember, man. It was like he came in and literally within an hour he had written his verse, recorded, and he was out.
Dang.
And he would drop some game on us, and it's like that was a cool part. He was just kind of like just really dropping game on us the whole time about being a considering yourself as a business, being an artist or producer. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I used to Game Over was my favorite little flip song. I love when they did the remix and they mixed in the Nintendo beat in there. Do you know right now I'm looking at, of course I'm subscribed to you on YouTube Music. That's my streaming platform.
Okay.
Do you know what your most popular song is on YouTube Music?
I don't, man.
What do you think it is?
I'm gonna say behind window tint.
Yeah.
Kinda...
It's behind, and then number 2 is Starstruck.
Okay, yeah, that's going way back. So that one, yeah, that's about a 10-year-old song too.
Yeah, behind the window tint, Starstruck. So that, and then you got Been Around, Fake News. I love the Raptivist album. I love that. That's when
Thanks, man.
I was like, man, I can't interact with this dude on Twitter all the time and never listen to his music. So that's when I listened to Raptivist. And then number 5 is Drive Around.
Oh yeah, it's like of the second album.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So man, a legend in here. Do you do it? But go ahead one more time, man. Plug everything you got. I told you I wouldn't take too much of your time, but we got D Dot, Pistons fan, Raiders fan, which is cool until my Lions get better. But once the Lions get good, man, I don't have no love for you on the Raiders.
Man,
show me more.
I feel bad for y'all, man. Like, yeah. So the name of the album, and this is actually a collab album. I want to shout out real quick Rook One Beats, who produced the entire album. So
okay,
you can follow him actually on either Twitter or Instagram at Rook One Beats, and then follow me D._major music on Twitter, as well as D.mme on Twitter and D.major music on Instagram and TikTok. And the name of the album is going to be At a Different Speed. Will be available on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Bandcamp, wherever you get your music. It's going to be 9 new tracks, follow up to my most recent album, The Mixer, which was released in November of last year. And just Rook One reached out about doing this project, and I just like, I never really got a chance to work with a different producer, so I just wanted to try something new.
And the podcast, what you got with the podcast?
Oh yeah. I also do a podcast similar to this one called the Major Music Lounge Podcast, talking to other music production app developers, music producers who create content on YouTube, people that just like talking about music production, also even artists. I actually had Chubbs on there.
Okay.
About maybe a month or so ago, a little bit, maybe a little bit before that. But find the Major Music Lounge podcast on all podcast streaming platforms.
When you mentioned Chubbs, that's he's a contributor on Pistons Pro Wrestling Fans with an S. Of course, I started, but Talking with Chubbs is his handle, and he spits too. He had a lot of
POE.
Yeah.
Detroit basketball.